Dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, good day to you all. Welcome to another session of EU Business Talks. Great to have you along. It's 2 minutes past the hour under my watch, and it is my pleasure to welcome as guest of honor for today, Alexander Horvath, Vice President, CSM Industry from Slovakia. Alexander, most welcome.
Good. So we are at the MSP Kielce now, which is a defense show. Unfortunately, this time slot is clashing with the actual event where we are meeting the minister and PGZ Group, which is a Polish largest defense contractor. It's a state company holding. So we are now at the, as you see with the background, there are some defense stuff. So we are company from CSM Industry.
Alexander, wait.
Okay,
We will come there, over there. First of all, I need to ask you, so you are now in Poland. I see the weather is sunny, everything is okay. I don't see much people at your background at the fair. So does it mean that COVID has made its part also at that particular fair?
No, actually opposite is true. I'm outside where it's a little bit quiet, but as you see, people are normal here. Everything is back to normal. So yes, there was a special registration for vaccinated only people. Special forms need to be signed, but everybody else is not wearing masks outside, and inside people are wearing masks.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time. You will be with us next 25 minutes or so. Alexander, before we go to the level of your company and your particular business, first of all, I have to ask you, your company is based in Tisovec, Slovakia. Please enlighten us. Tell us some beautiful things about your city, first of all.
Okay, so Tisovec is in the middle of Slovakia, and this is a town which approximately with 6,000 inhabitants, so it's a small town, and it is in the middle of national park called Muranská planina. So in the it was established the heritage, I'm not pretty much sure now, it goes back hundreds of years ago, of course, but the company itself was established there in 1967. So Tisovec is a small town. It's near Banská Bystrica, which is middle of Slovakia.
Okay, but I mean, you know, small is beautiful, small is flexible. So small is also green these days. So you must be lucky then. You must be living somewhere in the green stuff.
Unfortunately, that's where the factory is. But I live in Bratislava, so in a capital city. So I'm not that lucky to live in the national park. I wish, but always when I come to Tisovec twice a week to visit our factory, the management there, because we have two offices. One is the factory office, which is in Tisovec, and one office is in Bratislava, which is close to the end user, which is basically Ministry of Defense, firefighting department, or national disaster management.
What's the difference between the two cities, Bratislava and Tisovec? How far is it?
Well, it's about 3 hours. 3 hours. So Bratislava is the capital city. It's a southwest, and Tisovec is around the middle Slovakia, so around 3 hours from Bratislava. 2 hours Banská Bystrica highway, and then 1 hour a small road to Tisovec, which goes through the national park. So the beautiful scenery there. It looks like some combination between the Swiss Alps and New Zealand.
And Slovakia first, we should talk about
Slovakia
original.
Forest.
Yeah.
Yes, Slovakia Forest, definitely.
Alexander, one more question before we go for your company. Tell me, what can you share with us? What's the shape of Slovakian economy these days? Are you doing well? Do you have some challenges? How are you focused?
Well, the biggest challenge will be approving of the budget for 2022. So this is going to be a big challenge because of COVID situation. So we received a EU grant. Don't remember the exact number, around 6 billion. So there is some help, definitely, which will indeed help us. So post-COVID now, gastro economy, hotel tourism is totally collapsed, but the industry is taking over. So the GDP per capita is around 20,000, something like that would be plus minus. So yes, Slovakia is doing quite well. Unfortunately, the COVID and vaccination is opposite is true. We are on third lowest. So we are approximately 41% vaccinated. So this is, I think, 15% below average. But there is some national campaign going on for the vaccination, and of course, we are looking forward for hopefully the third wave, but not so aggressive as it was before.
But in general, Alexander, the business community is positive, realistic, or otherwise?
It's picking up. Yes, the business for our company, we are continuing because we are export related. Most of our stuff is components and plus the excavators. I will come to that. But the general economy is picking up. I think that's the mood is positive. I would say we have enough of lockdowns and we have enough of the business going down. So I think we are looking forward to grow again.
Okay,
because Slovakia
great.
was one of the tigers. It used to
Let
be
it
tigers
stay
of
that
European
way.
Union.
I also ask our Slovakian friends here in the room to confirm this positive attitude of Alexander. Just give me a thumb up.
Okay.
I see it. So you were right. Alexander, I go now to your particular company. Let me just read for the sake of all of us here in the room what we have written in the invite, Alexander. So CSM Industry company is manufacturer of multi-purpose telescopic excavator for defense sector. In 50 years of existence, company has produced more than 30,000 construction machines and exported them to entire world. So your business, Alexander, is global. Let me first clear one thing. Is your core business in defense sector only, or it is based also in construction and other industries?
Actually, our core business was civil until 2015, where we, civil and defense, I would say, and firefighting. So we have three major divisions. Civil is mainly for construction and gas and utility companies, and it is oriented most for the post-Soviet Union countries like Russia, Kazakhstan, and Ukraine, and others. This is a civil division. Then firefighting division is the excavators for fire brigade, and that is the mostly Central Europe. And then defense, this is it used to be for UNPRO 4, K4. So we used to be in Afghanistan, Iraq operation, the excavators, and in the 90s, in the 80s, also for the Warsaw Pact. So we were main producer of the excavators for any operations for the Warsaw Pact. So there was the big division which was declining until 2015, where the company reinvented itself basically, because the original owners from 1991 who privatized the state company, because Tisovets, the CSM Industry, used to be a group of companies under the state trust. It used to employ 85,000 people in Czechoslovakia, but every division then split, and Tisovets CSM Industry got the first owners in 1991. And then these owners got older and less energy, plus the Russian sanctions for our company, for Slovakia. So in 2015-16, it bankrupted. And now we took over, the new management, the new ownership took over, paid the social insurance, health insurance, and salaries. And we continue to operate more globally, because the older management was more focused on a Russia territory and Soviet Union, while we said that we need to go more west. So After that, in 2017-18, we started to negotiate with the German companies like Rheinmetall, Italian Iveco, Austrian firefighting company Rosenbauer, then and with different end users also from the West Europe. So we are now, let's say, put it this way, more Western company that it used to be.
Okay. Can I safely assume that your business is a tendering business? Are you mostly applier for tenders of certain countries, or am I wrong?
Yes, that is correct. We are tendering company. However, for civil division, we are mostly providing our excavators directly to the companies like Gazprom, Lukoil, Gasneft, and all these big oil companies. So this is a direct orders. And for the state orders, that's of course based on the tenders and bids for the tenders which are by the army or firefighting divisions. And usually we go in each of the countries, we find a big player, either a state company or a big commercial company where we join forces together. For example, we are now going into tender for 8x8 armored vehicle together with Finnish Patria, which is a big challenge also for us. And for 8x8 excavators, we start a joint project with German Rheinmetall. So these are the latest news which were published just last week ago, because on the International Defense Expo in Bratislava. So this is the latest news.
Well, dear friends, I tell you one thing. If you are doing business with the names that Alexander has shared with us, surely you need to have a quality and you need to be competitive. So my congrats to you, Alexander, and
thank you. Yes.
Work well in the future as well. Dear friends, now you know a little bit more about Alexander, about CSM Industry, about Tisovec, about Slovakia as such. Please feel free to post your questions in the chat box, and we will take it from there forward. Until that time comes, Alexander, I will read a second part of our invite, that you personally, you have 20 plus professional experience and you specialize in finance, international business and politics, defense, startups, algorithmic trading, project management, people development, and coaching, etc., etc., etc. Now, out of my curiosity, Alexander, they has just 24 hours. How can you manage? And plus you have 3 daughters. How can you do all that?
I just wanted to say that the 3 daughters give me extra 24 hours, so I have 48 hours. So, you know, because the energy that comes from the 3 daughters, I can do work for 48 hours in normal 24 hours. And I started also the Indian Chamber of Commerce in Slovakia. So the last 5 years, I've been doing a lot of business with India. It's us. I was 11 times in India myself. So this is, I mean, you gotta have passion, you gotta have will, you gotta have you know, attitude, and everything else comes itself. That's so easy.
Perfect reply, and I wish I could copy paste your style myself in a way. So we have here in the room a couple of business developers also who know their local markets pretty well. Are you in the process of obtaining tenders or elsewhere attracting your business? Are you using their experience as well? I would assume that you need also lobbying in your process.
Yes, that is correct. The lobbying is a politically correct word. Definitely, you need to know the key stakeholders in the ministry. You need to know the ministry. You need to know the information you cannot read from the newspapers. You need to know before it's happening, and then you need to prepare yourself. So, for example, the modernization which individual armies are conducting in each countries, you need to know the information that you can prepare. We are in the excavator business, which is not the traditional excavators which you see like JCB or Komatsu or Hyundai, but we are excavators on the wheels, which actually I didn't mention, this is kind of only one in the world, or very few in the world doing it on the wheels. So we have advantage there, and disadvantage that they are always comparing us with the traditional JCB Caterpillars on the tracks, which is totally different league, because they are very slow and they are very 100 meters surrounding or perimeter oriented, while we are fast response. We are driving 100 kilometers per hour, and we are excavating on the long distances. So not always the tenders are for the wheel excavators, but for example, if we deliver to Slovak army, this is part of the NATO. And if you deliver to NATO country, you can deliver to all the NATO countries. So we are registered NATO codified company with the NSPA vendor system and everything. We wish to cooperate more with the European Defense Agency, but this is something which we need to do now, because we need to have strong partners for that.
Okay, are you, Alexander, taking the last IDF tenders from Brussels? Are you involved in this in any way?
We are cooperating now with the European Defense Fund and European Defense Agency. There are some calls for the ground capabilities for this kind of things, but again, it needs to be always consortium of three companies and from 3 countries. So this is the most difficult part. The 3, and each of these country needs to approve your system in the country before you go to the overall approval. So we are just starting there.
Plenty of headaches before heaven comes, correct?
Sorry, say it again.
I said plenty of headaches before you see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes. It is a long term, definitely. But once you are in, it is a long term also to get out, because the projects are usually big and long lasting, 10 years and more. So
okay.
This is the same like delivering for the army. Last year, we delivered 5 pieces of our excavators to Slovak army. We delivered to Czech firefighters, to Slovak firefighters, Ukrainian firefighters. So it's difficult business, tender business, but once this signs, then you have good projection. You can plan.
And you have the name, and you have the word of mouth recommendation, and everything goes faster, exactly. I would assume.
And media,
my last question, Alexander, at this part is, your cash flow must be very unique, since you are, I suspect you don't have stock. Your products are tailor-made. How are you managing the financial part of your business then?
Yes, that's a very good question. 1/3 or maybe 1/2 of the company's component manufacturing, and this is what paying the salaries, and this is what giving us the recommendations to, because we do component for manufacturing from companies like Liber, like ABB, PF, so big companies are giving us components to manufacture, and this is something which we can plan much better, because then we know the work is for next 2 years, while the excavators, this is a tender business. It's very hard planning because we don't have anything on the inventory. But that's why these such calls with you guys is to give kind of reference that we do component manufacturing in welding, in assembly, small pieces, big pieces. This is something that we can produce for you guys if you have not enough of supply from your suppliers or basically your manufacturers, then we can help you out with anything that goes in the welding parts, small assembly or big assemblies.
What do you have, Alexander? This is my last question, then I go to the chat box. What do you have on procurement side, supplier side? What are you buying for your production line?
Yes, we buy from the mills, from the iron and the big mills. We basically buy the sheets, the plates, the iron plates, aluminum plates, and all sorts of plates, which we then manufacture, and we put into into the assembly line and make the unique product from the musters that we have.
Okay. This was for us, Alexander Horvath, CSM Industry from Tisovec, Slovakia. Thank you very much for being with us. Before we go, dear friends, I tell you one thing. Next week, this time, we will not have a new guest, but rather we will do a special edition of networking, meaning each time here I'm talking to one of guests. Next week, this time, I will give the floor each one of you for 1 minute, whoever will have an interest to share his company or her company profile with others, and this way make wider networking. You will again receive a nice email on that, and I look forward to greeting you next week, this time, this place. Thank you very much to all of you. Have a nice day forward, and especially to you, Katsue-san, I wish you a nice evening. Take care. Bye-bye.